I hope y'all can hear me now. Matt, can you hear me? Shake your head. Tanya, can you hear me? All right. We back up in here again. It's Tuesday, baby. It's Tuesday. Cats, chicken, dogs, snakes, and frogs. All y'all that's out there in the Twitter, the Twitch, the YouTube, and Facebook land. It's about to go down. It's tax time, baby. It's tax time. Y'all ready? Is you ready? I don't know if you're ready, but if you're ready, we're going to get you ready. We'll get you some tips. We're going to get you some tax preparedness and readiness. Here and there, everywhere, we have TCL Financial and Tax Services. Tim C. Lee is in the building. He's backstage. He's about to put it down. Like Max say, this brother don't just do taxes. He know taxes. And if you need somebody that knows taxes, you need to hit up TCL Financial and Tax Services. We're going to get more into it, but we got to give a shout out to some of our partners and supporters, the Mississippi School of Health Services and Careers over there off of Highway 80. You can begin your career in healthcare today. You can hit them up at mshscschool.com. That's 769-572-7490. One time for CLM Realty Group, one of the greatest realtors of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Are you looking for investment properties? Are you looking to buy your first home? Whatever you need, CLM Realty Group has you covered. Check them out at clmrealtygroup.com. It's Nightcap Knowledge, baby, every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Central. Share this live right now. Get in the comments. We need to know that you're there. We see our nightcappers checking in, and we're going to shout y'all out in just a moment. Go ahead and hit us in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, the show is starting now. Boy, y'all, hey, y'all, you saw me on that ride symbol. You saw me on the ride symbol.
I saw you. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, biggie. Oh yeah.
Mac, what you playing over there?
He was directing.
That's that Charles Home. I was agreeing. That's a Charles Home. Yeah.
Look, I understand now, my brother. I understand. Shout out to the legendary Charles Holmes. The man got so many people in law school.
Ain't never tried one case, and the best law preparer ever.
Come on, man.
Prepare.
Listen, he have you in that thing. Listen, it's so many of us that didn't go to law school that came through him, and I know we feel very, very prepared if we needed to read over a case and then research anything like that. So big
Oh,
shout
most
out to
definitely.
Charles
Definitely.
Holmes and Tougaloo College Pre-Law Society.
Yes, yes. The Reuben V. Anderson Pre-Law Society. Shout out to the Omega Men in the building. And Charles Holmes, OYE. Yeah, man. That joker there. Sharp as a tack. And gonna ask you about some Negro League baseball player anytime he sees you, or it's going to be for us Tougalooans, it's going to be somebody that's at least 30, 40 years your senior. That's two. And then it's going to be somebody that you went to class with. There's three things he's going to ask you about.
Hometown.
Oh, okay.
Hometown.
You're right.
Hometown. Yeah, he gonna tell Chuck about somebody that went to Tougaloo 40 years ago from Mobile. You know him? No, I don't know.
For me, he typically asks me about Ozzy, baseball player,
Yeah.
or Sack. It's both from Mobile. And then he gonna say, where's CJ Lawrence at?
Oh yeah, boy. The Tougaloo experiences.
Disclaimer, man. Go and give me this.
Hey man, this show is rated Black and Uncensored. This show is real talk, real issues, real solutions, and we're gonna tell it like a TI is. We're always gonna bring something to you that you know you need to hear. You might not agree with it. This might not be the show for you, but we're gonna definitely bring it to you, and we're gonna address it, and we're gonna have a good time while we do it. Cause we know what? When we show up,
we're gonna show
we
out.
pull up. Oh, we gonna pull up, baby. I'm getting back on the jack. I gotta get on the jack crack. What you got on that TBC? Oh, you dirty low down.
Ooh. Shout out to the women, to the powerful Black women of Halo 7.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my jack back up.
Hold on, Tanya. Let me make you really large on the screen. Hold on. Let me come on. You ready for this?
Let's do it. Yeah. Bigger. I got my Halo 7 round. Oh.
Hey. Now,
yeah.
I had to mute Mac. Tanya.
Huh?
Have you tasted it?
Bruh, let me tell you something. So here's the thing. I was in the middle of posting for our social media.
Okay.
The deliciousness of this rum. Yeah. And I enjoy, several rum makers, but it's something special about it when we're interviewing the sisters about this amazing, because I don't want to get names wrong. But one thing I love about it is sweet, but it's sweet with like a smoky sweet. Yes. So it has like a smokiness to it. It's not. It's one of those rums that you sip, as they said, you sip. On this, wait, Ashley, is it Ashley and Pumpkin?
Ashley and Janae, and then Pumpkin is like they third. Pumpkin came and really just put all of it, like she put some sauce on it.
Cause see, I didn't want to get my names wrong.
So Ashley and Janae are the founders, and then Pumpkin is like they third in command, I guess.
So shout out to Ashley and Janae and Pumpkin. Yeah. Pumpkin, not Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Halo 7, man. Look, get this coconut goodness in a bottle. I literally poured a glass, probably like a 4-ounce pour, and I sipped for at least 4 hours. Because it wasn't something like you had to go back and keep drinking.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah.
It's good. Matter of fact, let me throw the link in the comments for those of you that may be here.
Look at Mac like, I don't care. Shout out to Halo 7. I got my Halo 7 rum.
Yeah, definitely check out the story behind Halo 7 rum. These sisters are avid HBCU supporters. They are both, I believe they're God sisters. And they're based out of the Chicago area, but I think they have a footprint in Dallas, Texas now, with that being where Pumpkin is. And the rum is absolutely outstanding. As you can see, Tanya, she had it on the screen and everything. And they ain't paid us for this. Like we legitimately like the rum. So it's got that amber color. It's a full body rum, like Tanya said. It's a sipping rum, and it's got that coconut and vanilla type flavors and notes in that. So it is really good.
Really good for if you're an avid cigar smoker, that's your go-to.
Look at Mac.
That's your go-to. Like that, the pairing of that rum and a cigar, just the scent. Like, oh yes, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it, Marcus. Like,
oh man,
the fragrance in the house, that smell, and then your cigar, and again, we ain't blowing smoke up nobody's ass. We keep it 100% real here. Get your bottle. It's worth it.
It is definitely worth it. It is definitely worth it. Didn't we pitch the idea of like a Halo 7 candle or something like that too?
Well, she said they have one. She said
they have one.
She has candles. They have candles. They have glasses. So when we get to my entertainment segment, we're gonna talk about that. So yeah.
Solid. So look, Mac, let's go ahead and jump into your mental health minute for the week. Sorry about that. I meant to unmute you. Gotcha. I did
it. Hey, man. Listen, so we always try to, you're going to hear the rotation. It's going to continue to come around, but it's all needed, right? There's so much happening in society right now and so much happening in our circles. We all built different, right? We all have our unique talents, our unique quirks, our uniqueness. So I always want to continue to highlight this as Tanya adds to it. Continue to be your best you, right? Being your best you, knowing who you are, whose you are, knowing your talents, your gifts, and blessings, and not being afraid to be at the table by yourself if that's where you're meant to be. Because sometimes you get distracted trying to catch up with the crowd, right? So I always tell people, for me, one of my favorite animals is a wolf. The wolf is a favorite animal for me, not only because of the native tribal connection, but it can run with the pack or it can be by itself. Right? So be your best you. Sometimes you might have to walk alone. Sometimes you might do some things differently, but be your best you. Evolve, elevate yourself, continue to learn, continue to grow, but don't try to emulate others. Don't let others talk you down. Don't let others take away from what you have and what you're doing just because you don't fit in or you doing something different from them. Always work on being your best you. So that's my mental health minute. And now back to you, Chuck.
Hey man, we appreciate that, man. Look, sometimes you got to run with the pack, like you got to run with the big dogs, but then other times you might have to. If I have to go, I'll go all by myself. I'll go if I have to go by myself. Hey, man. I know, and we're getting ready to run into TBC's entertainment check-in, but man, I miss them male choruses back in the Gap.
Listen. It's nothing like. Let me tell y'all something, and we haven't had our debrief since Kwanzaa, but D-Meezy.
Yep. All right. I talked to Coach O about him at the app presentation we did for B1 Nursing Care this past Friday, and he was like, "Man, D-Meezy told me that." Well, he said David. He said that. He didn't say D-Meezy. He said, "David told me to ask you in a true, Coach O voice, what you felt about his comments." I said, "Coach, he was on point." And I said, one thing that I took from it is that sometimes you have to bypass the church to get to heaven. And if it's necessary, and I'm not saying bypass God, I'm not saying, bypass faithfulness. I'm not saying bypass family. There's a nucleus. There's faith. There's practice. If you are a good steward of your resources and you connect to your higher power and you find the higher power within you, and two or three are gathered,
bruh, all I'm gonna say is, yay.
Look, he had another point, and I know we supposed to be in the entertainment check-in.
No, go ahead, flow.
He had another point where he also, in addition to the point about sometimes having to bypass, But there's also an immense capacity within our churches where we need to go back and reclaim and repurpose and refine the vision and the scope through which our churches begin to operate. And I felt that was the duality of his remarks, where he's saying, look, if you don't identify over here, these folks ain't moving how you think you need to be moving. That don't mean that you disconnected from God. But look, there's immense capacity if we can get ourselves where we need to be as a collective, because if we start to move as a collective, then we can truly impact and make change.
Man, look.
Oh, look, Marcus Banks said he gonna sing lead. All right. Shout out to Marcus Banks, say he gonna sing that lead.
Hey, we got a lot of good folks that can sing, man. They be low key. That you know that they really be having them hidden talents. You don't never know until you catch them off guard.
All I'm gonna say is, yeah, like, man, look, on the Ferrilla, I left that conversation with so much, yeah. I mean, there's nothing else I really can say besides it was what I knew was already in me that he confirmed. My walk, my traveling, the journeys that I'm taking as Ancestors Lead, and it confirmed all of that. And so, he gave me, you know, Spirit was speaking, and it gave me the confirmation to know that just because I have the equipment and tools and skills to use for it, if I want to jump, don't mean I have to jump. So I left that conversation. I mean, you know, there's nothing else you can say when you've been fed with a confirming word. That leads me into entertainment check-in. I've been so blessed and inspired to just continue to walk, man, continue to take these journeys and opportunities that are placed before me. I've had several opportunities. Again, just I have the tools and the skills to be able to jump if I want to, but I don't have to. Yeah. And I've been learning to jump when I know it's time. And sometimes I'm being pushed, and I just have to be prepared because I know what I have to do. Right. Yeah. So I'm comfortable being I'm comfortable being uncomfortable. It's okay for me to be uncomfortable. So with that being said, I watch our sister Tabitha Brown. Man, shout out to her on all of these major endeavors, accomplishments, achievements, successes. Man, look, what? I leave for New York tomorrow. I'm trying to be all in New York, just like shipping shit back home to New Orleans. Like, come on. Yeah. That sister is a true example of jumping, patience, resilience. Yes. Black woman magic. Yes. Right. She goes from a health crisis that inspired and motivated her to change her living, her diet, because she almost died because of the food she was consuming. So she goes, long story short, for those who don't know Tabitha Brown, she is a self-made millionaire because she decided to live. And she went from cooking her vegan foods to being sponsored by several seasoning companies, to starting podcasts, to writing a cookbook, to launching a clothing line.
Kids YouTube channel.
She has kids YouTube channel. Yeah. To her own restaurant. She is a true Black woman magic. And the reason I didn't say black girl, because from when she's come, she still remembers. That's why the kids show can still surface and be celebrated the way it is.
And she loves some avocados too.
Oh man, I call them avocados. Avocados. So she loves her avocados, and that's your business. So stay focused. Mm-hmm. So I love that about her. So I wanted to highlight her tonight and just celebrate. How we don't always just have to walk in the wide lanes that we have beaucoup people following, right? Which is social media. You can walk that narrow lane, and sometimes it gets a bit lonely. But I promise you, that lane that you're walking is going to be everything that you need it to be. And I'm not preaching tonight, but I'm just going to confirm and show y'all how spirit works. Continue to walk in your own lane. Shout out to Chef Duck Chase.
Duck.
We opened chapter 4 on yesterday. The grand opening was today. Actually, today the ribbon cutting was on Monday, and it was everything to where people were coming in thinking the restaurant was open because it's like, we smell the food, we see the vibe, we want to be here. And in his restaurant, there's a picture. I always talk about the narrow lane. Can you see that?
Yeah. Let me highlight you right quick. Bring it up.
See that? Now I don't know the author, the artist of this portrait picture.
That's dope.
But if you notice the little girl as she's walking, there are several images here, but as she's walking, they're picking what they need as they continue this narrow road. So travel that narrow road. You never know who's already there that's being cultivated to help you continue your journey. Just follow it. Baby, look, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah. Get comfortable with being by yourself. Because
come on,
everybody that you need to sit at the table with you, everyone that you need to be to help you continue to push you, is going to be there. So shout out to Gretchen and Chef Duck, their family, the Chase family. You guys are amazing. I'm so happy to be a part of just the team of seeing Mama Leah Chase's and Chef and Baba Duck's vision and seeds and generations continue to soar and celebrate the legacy of the Chase family.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's chapter 4. Make sure y'all check them out. Yeah. Chapter 4 NOLA on Instagram. The 4th generation of the Chase family.
Leah so Chase and Duck Chase.
Yeah, if you've ever been to New Orleans and heard of Duck Chase, there are a lot of people that have gone by and through, specifically presidents. A lot of influential folks they will make their way to Duck Chase, and now they'll be making their way to chapter 4,
as well as in the airport. You guys can stop by Leah's Kitchen. So, look, all I'm gonna say is continue to walk and travel your own lane. Stay in your lane.
Walk that path.
Man, trust me. Eyes have not seen,
and ears have not heard.
Yeah, just keep walking. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep walking. I'll be dropping some more dates to you guys as I get them because I'm excited for this year.
Well, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. We are excited. I know I'm excited.
Come on. What's the groove?
So look, let me tell y'all what the groove is, man. The party people have been doing their doggone thing. I'm trying to tell y'all, Mac, you're gonna have to mute your little microphone out. God, dog. I don't know. Look, man, I love you. Let me say that.
I will say, I know we had that conversation. Like, I thought I was glad. I forgot about the groove. That's why I unmuted myself so we can introduce our guests because we almost at halfway of the show.
And I'm gonna make it quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it quick. So the groove is we did a app presentation this past Friday. In addition to DJing for a 55th birthday celebration in Jackson, Mississippi. But the party was absolutely outstanding. This lady, man, she is Dr. Joyce Wade Hammy, and she's a pulmonary specialist, pulmonary doctor. And when I tell you that this woman can still do the J-Set kick, but that was the after party for me. the first thing that we did, we presented an app that we developed for B1 Nursing Care. And basically, you can go to the B1 Nursing Care site, or you can go to your Apple or Google Play App Store, and you can download the B1 Nursing Care app. You're able to basically book your services. If you're not qualifying for Medicaid, you make a little bit too much money, or you made a little bit too much money, but you still need some additional services. We were able to basically put something that was user friendly for older adults or the caregivers for older adults. And that's what we did, man. And it was well received. Even the next day, Mac was able to go and we were, doing some networking for some other opportunities, but he was talking about it. And there were a lot of folks that were really interested in not only what the service is providing and it being in an app, but now where that service can also grow. So being uncomfortable and walking a path, and then also, as Max said, you might have to do the lone wolf thing sometime. I had no idea. I had no experience, but I knew that if I tried and they trusted me, and Dr. Cheney and Mrs. Makiba, they trusted me because I guess we good folk. We can figure things out. We have analytical reasoning. We have critical thinking skills, and we were able to take what they had already had in a website designed by EBS Services, or I forget what the new name of it is, but Sabir designed it. And then we took that and we wrote it into an app, got it approved by Apple, got it approved by Google, and that's a process in itself. So look, man, that's been the groove with me. We're able to do it. We did it well. It looks good. It functions well, and they can get paid off of it. And that's what matters, because we're going to get to where the money resides, baby. Let's go. Mac, it's on you, dog.
So everything is connected with the conversation. We talk about being your best you. We talked, Tanya was highlighting the restaurant in New Orleans. She highlighted Tabitha Brown. Everybody that she highlighted that we talked about, even with Miss Makiba, was being your best you, walking a path that was narrow, right? It's a lot of different sayings that talk about weary travelers, and also about things you might find on the side of the road, right? So it's a lot of sayings about that. But this brother that we about to bring also went the same path. He started his business, as they say, out the shirt pocket, and he started this thing because he stood out. He knew he wanted to do something different. Now he has several locations going on right in the city of Jackson. So we want to talk about our brother, Mr. Tim Lee. Come on out, Tim.
There you go.
Now, Tim, we want everybody to act like they never saw you before, right? So we want you to introduce yourself, tell them about your business, kind of give them what drove you to start this business, where you started from, and to where you're here now. Because people see you now, and they're like, "Oh man," but you gotta let people know the backstory and how you got to where you are.
You're on mute. You must be on mute.
Gotta unmute yourself, Tim.
All right, what about now?
Good to go.
Good. All right. Well, thank you, Mac, for inviting me on the show, and also Chuck as well. I've been on the show several times. This is my first time being your additional host here, Tanya. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
All right. But again, my name is Tim C. Lee. I'm the CEO and founder of TCL Financial and Tax Services, and we've been in business since 2004. To be exact, January 5th, 2004. That's when we were established. We got 4 locations. We got 2 in Jackson, 1 on Highway 18, 1 on McEvers Boulevard, 1 in Canton, and 1 in Byron, Mississippi. And pretty much in the beginning, I named the company TCL Financial and Tax Services, even though that our primary service was tax preparation. But I knew eventually that I wanted to offer more financial services. So that's why I put the word financial in the company name. So right now, we currently offer 12 different services throughout our company. And it's been a great ride. We just made our 19th year anniversary.
There we go. Okay,
January 5th of 2004, this year, January 5th this year, made 19 years of us being in service. So It's been good. It's been good.
19 years in business.
Exactly.
How do you grow to 4 locations, you said, and how many employees you got?
Approximately, right now we got 15. We're going to bring about another 5. So next couple of weeks, we're going to have about 20.
Okay. How do you grow to that point from, you being the initial employee, I would imagine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you now, going to have a staff of 20. How do you grow to that point?
Well, like I tell a lot of people that's in business, a lot of people think that once you have a business, that they are a business owner. But a lot of people that are in business and think they are a business owner, they actually are self-employed. And that's 2 different things. So starting off, I was self-employed. I was pretty much the only employee in my first location. And I pretty much, if I didn't go to work, I didn't get paid. So it took years. It took years of hard work, dedication, perseverance, and eventually I was able to become a business owner. And the difference between a business owner and being self-employed is the fact that as a business owner, you have pretty much cloned yourself. You have other people that you have taught to pretty much mimic what you're doing. Yeah. And you're able to make money outside of you being present. And that's the difference. You look at professions like plumbers and dentists and doctors and lawyers. A lot of those quote unquote business owners are really self-employed because they don't go to work, they don't get paid. Same thing with barbers and cosmetologists. They don't go to work, they don't get paid. So it takes a different type of individual to become a business owner. And I was able to do that in a very short period of time. In 2004, I established the company. In 2005, I had my second location. In 2006, I had my third location. So I had 3 locations in less than 3 years. And in this particular industry, it's unheard of to have that many locations in such a short period of time with only private money. No outside sources, nothing like that. So one thing that we incorporated was the business partnership opportunity, and most people would call it a franchise, but I was able to call it a business partnership opportunity where a person could actually have their own TCL Financial and Tax Services. And currently, 2 of our locations are those particular entities.
Mac, you want to jump in here?
Yeah, so I think we were talking about how, being your best you, and what you just said is unheard of. It takes a special type of person to say, I'm going to do this, to move in your own speed and on your own circle. And I know you probably ran into doubters. You probably ran into people that told you couldn't do it. And what was your motivation for this transition to go from wherever you were working before to starting your own business?
Well, prior to, and real fast, early on, I didn't quite know what I wanted to do in life. I actually joined the military after high school. Actually, I joined the military in the 12th grade and did 6 years doing that. Thought I wanted to, also at one time, believe it or not, become a cosmetologist. So I went to beauty school and graduated from there and decided that, hey, I didn't want to do that either. So then I got into retail management, fell in love with it. The company transferred me to different states and actually transferred me eventually to Jackson, Mississippi. And once I transferred here, that's when I realized that Jackson was actually the place I was supposed to settle. This was I was doing retail management in Metro Center Mall, and that was the #1 store in our district. But within a year of me being here, that company went out of business. And that company went out of business due to the changes in retail, especially in the Metro Center Mall. And no prior notice, I went to work one day and they told me, hey, are you the manager? And I said, yes. And he told me that, well, I'm here to shut you down. The company went bankrupt. And I pretty much said that, hey, I would never be in that position again. So afterwards, I decided to do a little research and attended Jackson State, And in 2004, I actually opened up my first location. And I just said I would never ever be in a position again. And I always tell people, hey, if you don't build your dream, somebody else will hire you to build theirs. That's one of my favorite quotes. So
that part right there.
Yeah. So pretty much to answer your question back, that's pretty much what got me to where I am today. That's pretty much what got me where I am today.
So it's tax season, and I know a lot of people have questions. So all of our nightcappers, go ahead and start putting your questions in the comment section so we can flow with this Q&A. Being a full-time musician and educator, mother, wife, nonprofit, owner, organizer, I found myself to run into several issues where I'm having to pay back taxes more often, right? So my tax preparer was telling me it's time for me to change my category because I'm now making more money. Come on, Favor. What advice do you give to myself as well as any other full-time musicians, self-employed or business owners? What are some key points as far as writing off taxes? Because I know they say keep your receipts, compile your receipts, make copies of your receipts. Talk about like when we say I can write this tax off, I can write off a cup of coffee, I can write off wardrobe. Can you talk a bit about how that looks for a self-employed musician, business owner, self-employed business owner?
Okay. Well, let me first start off by saying that one of the services that we offer, like I said, we offer 12 different financial services. And one of my sayings is that we specialize in more than just tax preparation. So business bookkeeping is one of the services that we offer. And our slogan for that particular service is, we teach you how to turn normal deduction into business deduction. And I don't say that disrespectfully, but if you're paying back in taxes, then hey, you need to change your tax rate. Absolutely. Because, because I tell people all the time that when you hear people like, when you hear people
hold
like,
up, Tim. Keep going.
Hey, he said if you paying, Tim, what you say?
You need to change your tax person.
If she's paying back in tax, you need to change her tax person. And let me explain that. Again, when you got people like companies like Amazon, when you got companies like people like Donald Trump, and you got people like Mitt Romney when he ran, and they talked about his tax returns, and they pay absolutely no or little taxes, and these people are making millions. And I hear people every day that I don't know how much money you make, but let's just say a person makes $100,000, $200,000, they say, man, I just make a lot of money. Well, not compared to Amazon, not compared to Donald Trump, not compared to Mitt Romney. So these individuals obviously have hired and surrounded themselves around smart people. One of the favorite quotes, if you're the smartest person in the room, then you're in the wrong room. So what they have conquered is the fact that they hire smart people when it comes to specific tasks. And they hire people that specialize in bookkeeping and specialize in all the tax write-offs that you can write off. And that's why, again, our slogan when it comes to business bookkeeping services is, we teach you how to turn normal deductions into business deductions. Let me end with this right here, that within our company, and I say this all the time, and I even tell my employees to encourage them to become business owners, that the entry-level position within our company is the receptionist. We call it the CSR, customer service representative.
Right.
That's pretty much the entry-level position, the lowest paid position. They still make good money, of course, but hey, it's an entry-level position. But that particular individual pays more taxes than me. That's
the entry level.
The entry level position within our company
pays more taxes.
Pays more taxes than me as the owner of the company. And that's why I encourage everyone to become a business owner. Not saying that, hey, if you work a W-2 job, that you should give up that W-2 job. Even if you have a W-2 job, you should still have a business on the side. Home-based business or brick and mortar, either one. Yep. Every person should fall in one or two categories. Either you are working for a good one and a business owner, or you're 100% business owner.
So I want to tell this. Tim and I did a professional development workshop for Black businesses. We set it at 20 spaces. Tim got on his radio show, and by that Tuesday, 17 was gone. So we added 5 more. Everybody that came to that workshop, we ended up cutting it off at 25 people, walked away with something. So I'm telling you, if we got to do it on Zoom or whatever, this is just the tip of the iceberg for the knowledge. I'm going to tell you like this. Tim is my new tax preparer. I'm done.
Wait, hold up. Let me say, go ahead, press that. What it
Oh, sorry.
No,
all right.
No, okay, never mind. Here we go. Come on. I always say, that's one of my prayers and mantras. God, put me in the room with millionaires and people who are going to help me continue to grow and be able to give back and teach my children and my communities, right? And then sometimes I get in the room and I can't fit that room because that's not the room for me. And then God allows me to create that room and create that table and to sit at tables with greatness. So Tim, get ready, because I saw one of your staff members, Marion, said we don't do taxes. We know taxes.
We know taxes.
Look, I had to post that on my Insta. So get ready, TCL family, get ready, because I'm coming.
Yeah, let me add this, Tanya. As you just mentioned, Mary Calendar. Actually, she's been on our team for a long time, and actually, she started off as a receptionist. She started out as a receptionist, and actually has moved up to a tax advisor, then moved up to an office manager, and she has taken the ultimately within our company. She's actually taken advantage of our business partnership opportunity. She actually owns the Mega Everett Boulevard location.
Wow! Come on, sis.
So pretty much, she done pretty much been in every position within our company. So shout out to her. But
you got to get an applause. You got to get a horn. Shout out to Marion, Canada. Yeah, that's what's right there.
Yeah. Now a lot of people don't know, and I talked about that as far as, well, how do a business owner making, whether it's 50,000, 100,000, $1 million, or even billions, pay less taxes than everybody else. And the reason being, tax laws has always been favorable for business owners. Always.
Yeah.
And when you look at how those laws are, people have to understand that when it comes to employees, and I'm talking about people that work a job and they take out taxes every paycheck. Before you get your paycheck, they're going to take out 4 different types of taxes. They're going to take out federal withholding. They're going to take out state withholding. They're going to take out Social Security tax. And they're going to take out Medicare tax. So in some cases, that could be as upwards as 30% or more. 30% or more. Social Security and Medicare tax alone is 7.65% together. So again, those taxes alone could be 30% or more. Those 4 taxes that come out for employees. But when it comes to an employee, when it comes to a business owner, and all 3 of you are business owners, you know that, hey, if I hired one of you or all of you to do a particular job for me, because you're a business owner, I'm going to pay you the fee that you requested. I'm not taking your taxes out. I'm going to pay you your fee. And you are responsible for your taxes. But when it comes to you being responsible for your taxes, you don't pay taxes on the front end like employees.
Right.
Employees pay 4 different taxes on the front end before they get paid. You pay taxes on the net, not the gross, like employees. So when you file your tax return, You report your gross on your return. Afterwards, you put in all of your expenses. And again, we teach people how to turn normal deductions into business deductions. So my goal is to teach you how to turn normal deductions into business deductions. That way, regardless of what you make gross, that you're writing off everyday expenses to lower that number down to 0 or a negative number. And when you do that, you pay 0 taxes.
Look, the TCL family is checking in. You got Tamika Stewart. TCL serves all 50 states. You see it.
Yeah.
You see it. That's
Yeah.
wonderful, man. So it looks like you're gaining a client in the South Louisiana, New Orleans, Nola Baby area. Is that right, Tanya?
9 Ward.
9 Ward all day.
Yeah. And actually, I was raised in Louisiana. I was actually raised in Alexandria.
Come on. And you know, and see, I was born in Jackson, lived on Cromwell Street, Wabash, but I was raised in New Orleans, been there over 30 years. So I'm a Mississippi Louisianian. I didn't forget where I come from.
Mississippi Louisiana.
And again, shout out to Tamika Stewart, and actually we like to refer to her as Dr. Tamika Stewart, and she's one of our. She started off as a tax advisor within our company, and she has advanced to become one of our office managers.
Well, all I'm gonna say is I pride myself on you should know the truth, and the truth will make you free. And I need people who are going to be truthful and transparent, because at the end of the day, I'm tired of paying folks that I paying those taxes that I shouldn't be paying, especially if I'm not educated. So if someone wants to learn more about tax services and financial services, how do they sign up? Is it all in person? Can it be hybrid? How long are your classes?
Okay. And before I answer that question, let me also, Dr. Stewart will fuss at it if I don't. One of her main occupations with our company is that she's also my phone screener producer of my radio show.
Awesome.
And that comes on every Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 90.1 FM WMPR. But to answer your question, we hold classes annually, and I call the course the Fundamentals of the Income Tax. And I hold that course annually. I personally teach it, and it's held from October through December of each year. You know, one of the unique things about our course is that, unlike other companies, they teach their course mainly through software. You know, I tell people all the time, hey, anybody can go to a supply store, office supply store, and grab software to do their own tax, or even go online to prepare their own taxes.
Yeah. So
one thing about our course is I teach our people memory. They memorize tax law. And actually, throughout the 10-week course, we teach them how to prepare taxes by hand. So there's no computer initially. The computer is not introduced into the class until like the 9th week, the week before the final. So I only teach the software one day. And after that, you got to do any computer training on your own outside of the class. So prior to that, we teach 100% by knowledge. Because you got to admit, if Tanya was to call me and say, hey, Tim, can I claim this particular dependent? You know, my mom favors me, can I claim her? You know, I can't type that into a software. I got to be able to know the tax law and the test to claim dependent. I got to be able to know the test to file here the household. I got to be able to know the different deductions that you can take as a business owner, as an individual, all the itemized deductions, as an owner of rental property. And if you got to run through the software every time someone asks you a question, then heck, you should not be in that profession. So again, we teach our people by memory. And that's why our slogan is, we don't just do taxes, we know taxes.
Go ahead, Matt.
So there's another thing I want him to talk about. Two points. One, kudos to this brother. Professionalism, Tanya. Everybody in the office wears a blazer with the TCL logo on it, right? Everybody in the office has on a blazer. That's part of his uniform. whatever they might wear, but everybody wears a blazer with the logo. But also, he offers another service about financial coaching or financial advising. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, and Matthew, you're absolutely right. One of the things you're going to get as soon as you walk into our business is welcome to TCL. Our CSR are going to greet you with that. But you're absolutely right. Everyone has a TCL blazer on. To keep the uniform, keep it professional. And one of the things that a lot of people mention about our company is that it's professional. And that's very important to me, very important to me. But to answer your question, and actually, I'm sorry, repeat your question again, Matt.
He was talking about the other financial services advising that you provide.
Gotcha. And actually, like I said, we offer 12 different types of services within our company. Tax preparation for individual and businesses is just one of the two that we offer. Another service that we offer is business startup and development, where an individual can actually come in, want to open up a business, and from the beginning, we actually apply for all the federal, state, tax identification numbers through the city as well, all their permits, all their licenses. We give them advice on a company name, a slogan, which is very, very important. A mission statement, advertising ideas, marketing, you name it. You can have zero experience when it comes to a business, because we have to understand that 50% of businesses fail in the first year. Right. 95% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. So again, the reason being, people do not choose to hire, or even if you cannot hire a business coach, because in the beginning, I couldn't hire a business coach, but I took advantage of free services, which was offered by the Small Business Development Center. The Small Business Administration, and I went to Jackson State Small Business Development Center. I hired somebody to do my business plan. So there was a lot of services that I took advantage of. Another service that we offer is financial coaching, financial counseling, where we go over budgeting techniques. We talk about credit restoration, debt elimination techniques, estate planning, identity theft insurance, life insurance, prepaid legal protection, and saving for retirement. So all of those particular services are offered within our financial coaching session, because our overall goal for you is to become debt-free, put yourself in a position where you're financially independent and wealthy, and in a position where you're going to leave a legacy to your loved ones. That's where we stand with everyone that sits down with us for a financial counseling session. And again, I know a lot of people in my position might just talk, but hey, I practice what I preach. So every service that we offer, I actually live by them. And pretty much the last service that we offer is Notary Public Services, as well as the tax preparation.
I know we joke and say we're going where the money resides, but your organization is truly where the money resides. I mean, look, it's everything that you talked about, because we often have these conversations about life insurance, and when death comes to your door, you're doing fish plates and things to raise money to bury family members when there are opportunities for you to learn how to not only save but live off your life insurance policy. And so your organization truly is where the money resides, and I appreciate you for what you're doing, especially for us as a Black community, to be educated on our finances, what to and what not to do, and how to be successful in doing what we love to do.
Yeah, and you jokingly said that, but hey, I say it all the time that, hey, you could tell a fish fry funeral versus somebody that had life insurance. So hey, we have got to put life insurance in place. But we gotta understand that a lot of this just comes back to just our knowledge and what we was taught at home. The number one teacher of children is their parents.
Yeah.
And when parents don't know, how can you teach a child what you don't know? So parents have got to become more educated when it comes to finances. These have got to be conversations that we have at the dinner table.
That's right.
Just general conversation.
Instead of talking about, you know, the Monday Night Football game, we need to be talking about at least a few times, right?
Yeah.
We talk about life insurance.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that, hey, you shouldn't be as passionate about, you know, sports and passionate about sororities and fraternities, but hey, we should have that same compassion about something that can change our family tree.
That's right.
Again, this is what we're talking about. Because you got to understand, when you teach a child this, and that's, if you go to our website and click on Tim's Library of Articles, I've written several articles on finances. And one of the articles that I talk about the most is teach your children how money works. And there's 4 things I recommend you teach children about money. 1, how to earn money. 2, how to save money. 3, how to spend money. And 4, how to invest money. So again, when you teach a child early on those 4 principles on money management, it's second nature to them once they become adults. The sad thing about it is we are just learning about money, a lot of us, in our adulthood. And it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah.
It'll be second nature. If you're grown, learning that, hey, the minimum you should be earning or saving is 10%, it'll be second nature to you. The minimum that you should be investing for retirement is 15%, it'll be second nature to you. But again, when you're first learning this, or when you first go to college and the first person to teach you about money is student loan companies, you know, it's a disaster.
Damn.
The first person to teach you how to buy a car is the salesperson at the dealership. It's a disaster.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So these lessons have got to be taught by individuals that are knowledgeable and have your best interest. And that's why I say it starts at home.
Tim, I have an idea, and I don't know if you've ever done this. And you got the comments are jumping, not only with your supporters, but some of our consistent night cappers. Marcus Banks is a growing business owner. We formed a partnership and friendship with Marcus over these last I would say few months. We've got our brother Sabir Abdul Haq checking in with us. Also, you know, a business owner. I have an idea, and I don't know. I mean, I'm pitching it right now. I think that what Mac mentioned earlier, in terms of that business preparedness workshop, Mac often talks a lot about preparedness, and I do believe that a lot of us are not truly prepared. We're not prepared for hurricanes. We're not prepared for a tornado. We're not prepared for when the water go out in Jackson. We're not prepared. Honestly, we're not prepared to even file our taxes. So I'm thinking like we need to do like a business preparedness challenge or a family preparedness challenge where we try to recruit people, and we ain't got to do a whole lot. We just say, you know, a little bit at a time, and we ask those questions that you kind of just went through, you know, in our conversation here. You know, all of do you have this? Are you saving this? If not, then you need to be a part of the TCL preparedness, you know, business, family. Those are, that's what I'm hearing that we need to have. If you're a business owner and you don't know these things, if you're a young person, if you're an elder, or if you're somebody in between, and you don't know these things, we need to have this opportunity again. What you think?
Yeah. You know, let me say this, Chuck. Let me add on to what you said. And I say this respectfully, but hey, I'm real serious when I say it.
Yeah.
You know, we have got to understand that, you know, I started off earlier by saying that, hey, that a lot of us need to surround ourselves in rooms where we're not the smartest person in the room.
Yes.
And when it comes to business owners and individuals, sometimes we just have to be the smartest person in the room. We just want to for some reason. And sometimes we just need to just surround ourselves about people that actually know more than us.
Yeah.
And some of us are just intimidated to be around those type of individuals. Some of us just don't want to even surround ourselves. A lot of it could be the fact that, hey, we have to be in control. We have to be in positions to where, hey, I know more than somebody else. And it's impossible to, I always say, hey, one of my another favorite quote I like is, hey, you only learn what you don't know.
Come on.
And even though this is a service, financial counseling or some of our other financial services, even tax preparation.
Yeah.
I have clients that actually come to our office. I sit down with, and even our other preparers sit down with, our other advisors sit down with, and they pay us for a service. And they actually attempt to educate us more than we educate them. Because again, they want to be the smartest person in the room. And I think that we have to change that narrative. And I'm glad. And I know it benefited me. And I know that it was the result of me being still in business 19 years later, that early on, before I even opened my first door, before I signed my first lease, that I said, hey, I need to sit down with someone that knows more than me. I have no experience in business. And again, I took the ultimate leap. I quit my full-time job 3 or 4 days before. I quit my full-time job December 31st, 2003, opened up January 5th, 2004. So about 5 days prior, I quit my full-time job. And I wasn't taking that type of commitment without being prepared. And I had to surround myself around people that actually knew more than me.
Yeah, I've read and I listened to something earlier today where they say you need to examine your circle if your friends or your family are not challenging you to be better. And to reinforce your point, they said that if you're not in rooms that make you uncomfortable, you're not in the right rooms.
Exactly.
And again, I want to be in some other rooms.
Yeah. It hasn't gotten worse throughout the years, because you got to admit, people are more sensitive now.
Yeah.
So hey, nobody want to hurt nobody's feelings no more. One of the things I recommend that people do, and I talked about this on my radio show, that in the month of December, and sometimes, starting in the month of November, I start writing out my goals for the upcoming year. And there's 3 things I recommend people do. 1, write down your goals. Great studies show that you got a greater chance in accomplishing your goals by writing them down.
Yeah.
The second thing you want to do is put your goals somewhere where you're going to be constantly reminded, whether it's in your wallet, your purse, on the refrigerator, stick it on your dashboard of your car. But you just want to put it somewhere where you're constantly reminded, your cell phone, your tablet. And the third thing I tell people to do, which is the most important, you have got to give your list to an accountability partner.
Hello.
And this person is someone that's not scared of you. This person is someone that's going to challenge you, that's going to check in with you every 30, 60 days and say, hey, where we at?
Where are we?
You told me you're going to have this done by this time, and you have it. You slacking, you flipping, and you are not doing what you said you was going to do. So that part is very, very important. And like I said, we live in a culture today that, hey, people don't like to be challenged.
Because they don't like to be uncomfortable. They've gotten stagnant in being comfortable. And so they keep those people around them that allow them to be in that circle of comfort. So when they are challenged, it becomes, oh, you're hating. Oh, you're jealous of me. Oh, and the whole time the question is, are you holding yourself accountable? I listen to these motivational speeches every day before going to work, school, going to the gym. And there's this one that says, don't stop. And the brother's like, I need you to confront you. He said, I get sick of people who go to restaurants and they order food and they don't get their food right. And you go off on them, but you give yourself a pass. You give you a pass. You get up knowing that you should be doing something better, but you give yourself a pass. You don't hold yourself accountable. And so this is, this season of where we are right now, some of my girlfriends and I are always talking about this portal that's open for us to achieve greatness right now. It doesn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? I know for Tanya, it doesn't feel good, but I'm so grateful for it because it's teaching me how to continue to be consistent in my drive and my goals. Because everything you said tonight has really spoken to me and my spirit and my wallet. I'm not saying it as a joke. I'm just saying it as reality, because when I sit back and I think about what all I could be having or doing, instead of being up to here and drowning in debt, I would be so much better. So I'm looking forward to being uncomfortable and being confronting me while educating me to be a better me.
Yeah. And you look at, just to add on to what you said, you know, years ago, especially in our community, especially in the Black community, years ago, we could have used excuses. We could have used excuses, and in certain cases, we can still give reasons for a lot of setbacks. But overall, you know, the information is out there for a very high percentage. There's no reason for anybody to be unsuccessful. And I'm not saying that being successful is being a business owner. I'm just talking about there's no reason for someone to be uneducated. You know, if I wanted to do something for the first time, whether it's to cook a new dish or go in my yard and do a project in my yard, I can go on platforms and do a quick internet search or do a quick search of that platform, and it'll show me step by step.
Yeah.
And I'm able to pause it. So this ain't like I'm sitting in the classroom and saying, if I missed it, I just missed it. No, I'm able to pause that video and say, hey, let me do this, conquer that, and then press play again and complete the next task. So for a lot of us, again, we have got comfortable. And I'm going to go back to just going back to what I said earlier. It starts at home. It starts with our children, how we teach our children, as well as, like I said, with the goals, finding accountability partners. You will be surprised on your expectations based on the people that you surround yourself around. Because, hey, if the person that you're trying to do better than is a 2, you don't have to achieve much. Yeah, you don't have to achieve much. So again, sometimes
and we have a lot of people that are 2, but they fake it and try to look like they're 10. I just want to say that.
Stop being toddlers out here, man. We don't want to be 2. We want to be. Let's go and grow, baby. Let's go and grow.
Exactly.
Look, surround yourself with the right people. Use that discernment, because there are a lot of wolves out here that are 2s looking like 10s. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, Mac, to use your wolf analogy. My bad. But no, on the for real though, there are a lot of people out here who are misleading, and because they may have learned a new term, or they have studied some terminology and they feel like they can use that terminology to really make people feel like they know something. So that's why I said there are a lot of people who are some fraud 10s out here. So
let me say this real quick, right? So I've had this conversation with Chuck in the last 2 years, and my cousin up in Homestead, he's a straight shooter, and I've seen people that were doing business, and you thought, hey, you know, I can get advice from these folks. And it was the reverse of you end up being the person in the room. They're looking at you like, I'm here to learn from y'all. And he told me exactly the opposite of Tim's quote. He said, there's a lot of folks that do business that don't know business. And I was like, damn. I said, Tim is the opposite of that. He's telling folks, we just don't do taxes. We know taxes. Right. So it's a lot of times we are able to maneuver, but we don't know all the steps and things we should be doing and all the behind the scenes and all the stuff with the next. And we're not constantly educating ourselves, because that's why you got CUs or CEUs, continuing education, so that you continue to update yourself, even on your field. And sometimes you go from being the participant to being the presenter, right? So that means that put more pressure on you to educate yourself so that you can educate other folks. So yes, I see, Tim, we need to do this workshop. I think you probably got some more clients coming. Yeah, it's a whole lot going on.
Not probably.
Going on for you. Not probably. Definitely have some more clients coming. Real quickly, share with the folks your location, information, numbers, anything else you want us to leave with the watchers and listeners.
Okay. Again, we've been in business since January 5th, 2004. We just made our 19th year anniversary. We got 4 locations to gladly serve you: Byram, Canton, Highway 18, and Mega Evans Boulevard. We offer 12 different services. So, our tax preparation slogan is, we don't just do taxes, we know taxes. But our overall company slogan is, before you call anybody about your business, finances, money, or taxes, call us. Again, listen to my radio show. It comes on every single Monday from 6 to 7 p.m. on WMPR 90.1 FM, or you can go on our website and click on the link Listen Live. And again, we got tax season 2022 about to start. So hey, if you don't know who will prepare your taxes for tax season 2022, I invite you to come to any one of our 4 locations, because again, we specialize in every category when it comes to tax preparation.
And Dr. Tamika reminded us to tune into your radio show, the TCL show, every Monday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on 90.1 WMPR, hosted by the amazing Tim C. Lee. # invest in yourself.
And you can listen live. Live via the TCL website. And we have that in the comments. Man, this has been a great show. I am so glad that you had the TCL family to join us in the comments. I know that our nightcappers have definitely benefited from you in this conversation. We've benefited as the host of this show. And I think, as Max said, it's about time for us to run that workshop back again. And I don't know how open you are to this, but I think it's some people on the Mississippi Gulf Coast that could definitely benefit from being in a room with you. And we're gonna work on some of these new opportunities and expanding our territories.
Hey Chuck, let me say this. And again, you just talked about the workshop we did in the past on business startup and development. Since the pandemic, more people, and I've been saying this for years, even before the pandemic, but again, everybody should have a business. Not saying you should quit your day job, but hey, everybody should have a business. But since the pandemic, people don't realize that if you only got one way to make money, you're in a bad position. And if you didn't realize that during the pandemic, because during the pandemic, depending on what your job was,
come on,
you were unemployed. And a lot of people say, well, I made more money because I got unemployment. Yes, you might have made more money, or you might have been in a position to where, hey, you were getting help. But technically, let's be honest, it's in a bad position to rely on the government. That's a bad position because, and we realized that, hey, at any given moment, and they actually did it, at any given moment, they can pull that plug.
They cut it off.
And not just on federal, even the state. Even the state decided, the state of Mississippi decided, hey, we're no longer going to, even though the federal was still dishing out unemployment benefits, the state said, no, we no longer want to accept these federal benefits. So you are in a bad position if you only have one way to make money and you rely on government. So the average millionaire has a minimum of 6 different streams of income. So again, I recommend that everybody start a business.
That's it. That's the note.
So I got real quick. I got one announcement, 1 point. the point is sometimes we've been around the wrong folks that tell you do too much, right? And it's not because that person do too much, you do too little. And because you got to have more than one source of income, because if something happened over here, you need to be able to pick up whatever you got and be able to make money. So you got to have the right people in your circle, in your ear that you're listening to, because a lot of times, folks, you're doing too much. And, I'm trying to create ways where I know I'm gonna eat regardless of what happens, right? Because we done been hungry before, we ain't gonna be hungry again, right? Second thing is, we talked about connection, brotherhood, and all that. I definitely want to let folks know. We talked about it at the beginning of last week's show about the tragic death of one of our elders, Miss Pittman. Her services will be this Saturday at New Hope Church off Watkins at 10 a.m. That's this Saturday at New Hope Church at 10 a.m. for Miss Pittman, Miss Neva Mae Pittman, who has always been at every Kwanzaa and every celebration, and a very large pillar of the community. So her service will be this, but her son and grandson was with us to celebrate Founders Day, and we showed true brotherhood and cooperative collaboration, and he was just in awe that the brothers supported and provided and sold into him as him and his family has sold into us. So big shout out to our brother Pitt. Continue to support that family and the community in which Ms. Pittman has touched. I know Brother Tim knows Ms. Pittman from coming to Kwanzaa. She's definitely going to be missed. But for us that are here, must continue the legacies for those of our ancestors have built for us as we continue to make new ones for ourselves. So that's it.
Yeah, I want to send my endorsements to as well, Matt. Ms. Pittman was actually one of our clients. And actually, I found out about her passing through you. You actually sent me a text out, and I just couldn't believe it. So again, Ms. Pittman was definitely a trailblazer in our community. She would definitely be missed. So my heart goes out to all of her family and friends.
Well, look, brother Tim, we appreciate you for being here. We appreciate our Nightcappers for tuning in. Make sure you share this episode with somebody that you know that they need to hear and be exposed to this information, because at the end of the day, you're leaving money on the table when you're not dealing with a professional financial advisor that can tell you what to do with your money, tell you what to do on your taxes, and all of the other things that you need to do in terms of saving. Oh, what? Ain't y'all Founders Day yesterday, man? I mean, hold up, man. Look, I'm trying to get the better money reside. Y'all trying to be blue and stuff, man. Hey, don't nobody want to hear about that, man. Look, all right. I'm finna go to where the money reside. I don't know what y'all trying to do, but I'm trying to get to the money. And when you want to get to the money, you need to call TCL Financial and Tax Services, baby. Let's go.
Thank y'all for having us.
Most definitely, bro. They dropping that little blue stuff all over the place.
Yeah, thank everybody for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all, man. We'll see y'all next Tuesday, every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. It's Nightcap Knowledge. We're live on Black with No Chaser, live on Nightcap Knowledge. You can catch us on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, baby. We'll see y'all. Check in. We got Dr. Fred coming on. We're going to get the mental right. We got the financial right. And we're going to get the spiritual. Y'all stay with us. Like and subscribe everywhere. It's Nightcap Knowledge.